Hey y'all, I'm Aaron.
I'm Margaret.
We're the Dancers. Weren't you supposed to say we're the Dancers?
No.
I'm supposed to say it?
Yeah.
Oh. We're the Dancers.
Hey y'all.
God sent me an angel from above. It's gonna love me for life. Might as well be perfect, only because it's the only way I can describe. So this is love.
Hey y'all, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Margaret.
And we're the Dancers.
So we decided to create this channel because we both work at a high school and we always get questions on dating and just advice and just different things and just our stories. So we just decided to create like a little reference page for the high school age students and college and even some of our peers who ask for advice. So yeah, we'll get started.
Let's get started.
So our first video will be on purposeful dating. Like, what is dating? That's like the big thing now.
What is that?
The purpose of dating is to marry. A lot of people don't understand that the purpose of dating is to marry. A lot of times you end up in these situationships and you stay together for 2 and 4 years. You say, okay, you go your way, I go mine. But no, that's not what dating is. Dating is to find somebody who you're gonna marry. If you're in, especially if you're in college, you know, and you desire to be married, like that's when you really should start buckling down and saying, okay, I really want to purposefully date somebody and not just date and then you say you go your way, I go mine. But
when we think about purpose, we think about why something's created, why something is done, why something gets used, and why something is made, right? If you take, for example, the purpose of a microwave. The purpose of a microwave is for me to get something quick, right? If I'm hungry now, I'm going to heat up something so I can eat it really quickly. I'm not going to use an oven, or I'm not going to use a crock pot to make something if I'm hungry now. Now, if I want something that has seasons, if I want something that has flavoring, if I want something that's going to fall off the bone, you feel me?
that good food.
You feel me? Right. Now, if I want something like that, then I'm going to use a crock pot.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason why I'm going to use a crock pot is because I know that everything that I'm using in this recipe is going to need to take time so it can taste the way that I want it to taste in the long run. I'm not going to use a microwave to get that done, because if I use a microwave, all my seasonings won't get all over all the food. All the sauces won't be able to penetrate the meat. I probably shouldn't say penetrate the meat. That ain't good. No, but, you know, what I mean is, what we've done as a culture, we've turned dating into the microwave versus the crock pot. Mm-hmm. And what that looks like is, a lot of times we look at my purpose and we say, I want it right now. And that right now sometimes manifests itself in an unhealthy way. For example, I'm gonna say I want to be in a relationship because I just want to be with somebody.
And it's what's popular on social media right now. Like everybody the hashtag goals right now, y'all. We want to hurry up and jump into something. But in terms, we end up with the microwave effect. So it's fulfilling right now. But when it's time for that long-term relationship, like that's not gonna work.
And in reality, what you end up doing is you find yourself changing over time to meet the needs of a person who is only in it for the microwave as well. Because if I put something in the microwave, then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it in there, then I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna flip it, I'm gonna move it, because I need all of this thing to be heated up. And the sad thing about it is, while one part of the microwave one part of my food is getting heated, the other part's probably getting cold. And that's the same thing that we do sometimes with our character, with our goals, with our integrity. While one part may be getting strengthened, we take all the other parts, and what we end up doing is we put those at risk just to meet the needs of this persona of relationship goals. I need to be in this thing. I need to be doing this thing. When that's not what the purpose of dating needs to be. That's not the reason why. Is like we get an opportunity to talk to a bunch of kids, and majority of the times when I have a conversation with a young male or a young guy, young female, young girl, then the conversation always ends up to, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I let this part of myself go. I can't believe I shared this with this person. And you find yourself, well, why did you do that? And a lot of times the response is because I thought I loved this person. And I thought I wanted to be with this person. And they were the thing that I wanted right now. And it's like, well, is that healthy? Is that good? Is that necessarily what's meant for you? And in order for you to find that, it's going to take more than just that microwave. Let me get it right now. Let me get this quick fix. Let me get what I want out of this thing so I can feel like I'm okay. Or let me get what I need out of this thing real quick. Because if you're constantly just getting what you want or getting what you feel like you need, then you'll never, ever fulfill your purpose. And that's what God has called us to. God has called us to fulfill our purpose in Him. And if you can't fulfill your individual purpose for Him, then you can't fulfill a purposeful dating relationship.
All right, y'all, so then we get into like the Crockpot effect. Like, what does Crockpot dating look like? So when you think about like the Crockpot, like what Aaron was saying earlier, you get all this stuff, put in all your ingredients, and you just want it to emulsify and just come together. And it takes time for that, and that's the same way it is with relationships. Like, you get in there, you get to know somebody, you're not jumping right into just, you know. Can I say?
No, that's why we're doing the video.
Okay, well, you're not just jumping straight into the bed. Like, you getting to know this person. Like, you're really taking time getting to know the core of this person. Just like those seasons get into the core of that meat. You don't want to get into
I remember when my stepmom and my mom used to make food in a crock pot when I was growing up. We knew whatever was going to be in that crock pot, we was going to eat it, the whole family, for a while. We knew that if we put something in the microwave, like Margaret was saying, that only one of us could eat it. So what you see is that food, it feeds a lot of people. And it's the same way with your relationship. Like with relationships, if it's a purposeful relationship, that means that relationship is made for many. Now, what I mean by made for many, right? God is in the blessing business. He is. But He's only willing to bless us when He knows that our blessing is going to be a blessing to other people. So if your blessing is not going to be a blessing to other people, then there's no reason for blessing you. So your relationship has to serve as that type of purpose, where it's going to be a blessing for other people. Kind of like that meal that my stepmom made in that crock pot. It was made for a bunch of people, right? So when we look at those different blessings, right, you get the blessing of an example, whereas people can look up to you and they can look at your relationship and say, wow, I want something similar. I want to have something like what they have. You also look at the potential of added family members, whereas I know my wife serves as a sister for my sister, who she's always said she wanted a big sister. I know that my wife also serves as a big cousin that some of my little cousins, my smaller cousins, are looking up to. So she's serving, or this is serving as a blessing. And then you also look at, after we got married, we had 2 beautiful children. We have 2 right now. So that serves as a blessing because my mom, she's always wanted grandchildren. So you have all these things that come from just a meaningful and a purposeful relationship, whereas you say, okay, how is that relationship a blessing to other people? And those are different ways. And then if you look at the last part of it, if you put something in a crock pot, it's not a leftover. It's not something that was put together after it had been in the refrigerator for a long time, because it was already made for something else. Majority of the time, whatever you put in a crock pot is what's going in there, and it's going to serve a specific purpose in that crock pot for that time. So if you look at that versus and how that can relate to how we date, right? It's looking like not bringing extra baggage from past relationships into a new relationship, right? If I'm going into a relationship and I'm going into it and I'm mad at all men because the last guy cheated on me, then that's not necessarily going into that relationship with a purpose.
What do you mean women, y'all? You didn't mean to say men.
Well, I'm saying as an example.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't. Let me go find me a dude. Nah, but things from your past relationship into your new relationship. When I say that, I mean things that'll hurt your new relationship. Yeah. So, for example, like one thing going around social media right now is all men are basically dogs. Like men aren't anything, right? So, essentially, you shouldn't bring that thought if somebody
that mindset into a new relationship, because it is something new.
Yeah, if somebody cheated on you last relationship you was in, and you feel like you were done wrong, then going into this new relationship, you shouldn't have that same mindset for what that one person did for the entire.
Just let it set that precedent for like the different men that you date.
Yeah.
Don't let that be the precedent, the thought that you have of all guys now, right?
Yeah, because I remember when I was in high school, well, even in middle school, right? And people used to make fun of me a lot because you used to call me radio. You used to make fun of how I wore my pants, and when I had girlfriends, but when I had girls that I was in relationships with, I always got cheated on. So for a while, one thing that really bugged me or bothered me was I felt like all women were going to do the same thing. They were going to cheat on you. And even when I met my wife, at the beginning of our relationship, one reason why I know that it could have easily went the other way is because I was bringing some of those past experiences into my new relationship. And I had to come to a point where I said, you know what, I can't continue to blame her for what other women have done in my past because she's not them. Yeah. And if I continue to do that, then what I was going to do was, number one, I was going to run her away because she almost left me because of it, right? I was going to run her off, and then I was going to find myself missing out on God's purpose.
And me,
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo. No, she's awesome. I'm just playing. But I was gonna find myself missing out on God's best for me because I couldn't let go of something that was going on in my past. And
which brings us back, sorry, babe, to what we were saying, which taking time to get to know somebody. Like I had to get to know him to realize, okay, this is why he feels this way because this happened in his past. However, had I just jumped in bed with him, he would have brought all that with him, and then in terms that would have, been a part of me, because that's what happens when you are, sexually active with somebody. Like all that becomes a part of you as well. So yeah, I just want to throw that in there real fast.
No, that's good. That's good. So comment,
like,
subscribe.
Share our video. Tell your friends to share it, your mama to share it.
Yeah, and this is just the first of many more to come. If we get enough subscribers.
Yeah, if y'all like it.
Y'all don't like it.
Yeah, and tell us in our comments below, like, y'all, what you didn't like, if we talk too much, if we ramble, but just show a little grace, because it is our first video. And we're actually really excited to help and, yeah, just give good advice and learn as well. All right, y'all, we out.
Peace.